up, you guys? I'm J5 here, and I'm back with Belladonna, and the music is loudness. Still can't figure out what to do. You can do more things.
These are the hands that give life. Talk about meeting your maker.
Exactly.
The back of his head has been cracked open by a heavy blow. He couldn't have seen the attack coming. He was dead before he knew what happened.
Yeah.
So he trusted his assailant then? Was it me?
No,
I have
doubt
no
it's...
memories from my life before. Maybe it was I who killed him. But then, how was I brought back? Blood is flowing from a wound in his skull. I wonder if he was alive when he was killed, or if he was just a mechanical cadaver like me. There is no clockwork or artificial parts that I can see. But how can you tell?
Alright, let's go back. Less music! The clock! I'm just gonna ignore that note because I'm tired of reading in junk. Seriously, I've been non-stop
It's an old
reading.
clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Gargoyles! Gargoyles are kind of creepy sometimes, but you know
Those
what?
are a lot of gargoyles. Leupold, Brunhilde, Arthur, Maya, Lena, Ismildor, Ether, and Yosef. In that order.
And she gives cute names to everything, and it's just like adorableness.
This letter is signed Belladonna.
What? Really?
I've been waiting to hear the other side of this story.
Over the course of a sleepless night, I have thought through my next course of action from every possible angle, for it is indeed time for me to take action again. Even with the troublesome maid out of the way, I see little chance of getting my old Belladonna back. If anything, she is worse now than ever before. But I have an idea, one that kept me awake all night. I have come very far in my research by now. I can now fairly predictably create living creatures that are stable enough to not spontaneously die again. This is consistent, though through many different species of animal. I have noticed something peculiar, though. The returned creations seem strangely vacant and sluggish. It is as if, although the body is brought back to life, the soul is forever lost. The creation is perfectly functional in response to stimuli, just as if it was truly alive, but the mysterious spark of life will seem to be missing. I know no other way to describe the phenomenon. This bothered me before, but now I cannot help to think that this might suit my needs. Isn't it precisely the strong will of my wife that is causing all of my problems? Wait, what? I thought this was Belladonna. There's no need to be poetic with flowers this time. I'm in no short supply of lethal substances in laboratory, and poison suits my needs, well as it leaves no physical trauma on the body. I will need to make... Did I already read this? I will still need to make incisions in the corpse to replace internal organs with clockwork parts, but stitching together surgical cuts is much simpler than trying to repair unhealed bodily damage. The integrity of her visage is a priority, to extinguish Belladonna's current life and give her a new one, to bring her body and mind back, minus soul and free will. A beautiful, obedient automaton, a mechanical doll with all functionality of a woman, but who is responsive. I think I already read this one, did I? I did! Nabbit! What was going on with that? I don't know. If you had asked me just a few years ago about my future, I could never have fathomed my life would be as it is. So strange a path has the twist of fate set me upon, that I awake every morning bewildered and like a small child. I expect anything and everything to happen during each new day. Oh yeah, I should have noticed that everything's got names on it. I'm sorry. I mean, my throat is just like, felt weird, and it's just like a cough happened, and it's like, yeah! The night my planned future snapped out of joint and took a whole new direction was the night when my son Lucas died. I married Dr. Wolfram von Charles, I don't know how to pronounce it, and spring, and we loved each other deeply back then. How young we were. He was an educated gentleman from the University of Inns, whatever, and had first assumed we would get a flat in Vienna. Instead, he convinced me we should live in my family's old castle and accept our roles as old-fashioned nobility to the little village down the hill. We moved into the castle with a staff of 30 servants, beginning the task of breathing life and joy into the majestic halls. At this time, I expected to live out my life as a lady of the household, minding the servants and indeed raising children. But long after our first son was born, and shortly after, he once again departed. Once again, what? I was devastated, of course, but Lucas had been sickly from the first day, and even though my husband had blocked out the possibility from his mind, I was not entirely surprised when it happened. Nonetheless, it changed us. I believe Wolfram blames me for what happened, and what he thinks and that he thinks somehow it was somehow my fault. Dab nabbit grammaticals. He retreated into his laboratory in the old dungeon and started doing unholy experiments and God knows what. Those were dark times. Instead of a household and a child to take care of, I now had no guests, practically no husband and no child. Everything I thought would occupy my time was gone, and all I could do was grieve in solitude. The castle staff left one by one, until there was only a handful still here. My existence was meaningless, and I spent my days doing nothing. But I dealt with my grief in my own way, and in time the claws of melancholy began loosening their grip on me. In so many ways, I have Clara to thank for that. Clara as in the maid. Again, I'm still holding the possibility that I'm not the wife, but I am indeed the maid. That I don't think the wife actually died. Even if Dr. Wolfram says he killed her or something, I still don't believe she died. She might have been sleeping. She might have been knocked out for all I know. Yeah.
This must be the family cemetery. Yet, baby Lucas rests in an urn in the dining room. Why is that?
Who knows? Bottle of milk!
There's a bottle of milk out here.
Why is there
I wonder
milk?
how long it's been here.
Why is there
At
milk
any rate,
outside
it's
the
frozen completely solid. No wonder in this cold.
door? Yeah, it's more reading!
One more
Yay!
Belladonna letter. Let's read about this Clara figure.
Clara Steiber was one of the several chambermaids we hired when we moved into the castle shortly after the marriage. In the warm light of recent events, I feel as though I could pick her out of a crowd already at this time, but I suspect that the truth is that she was just another servant, one of many, and I didn't pay her close to the attention I now know she deserves. The time following the death of Lucas is hazy and unclear in my memory. I know I spent most of my time in an armchair in the living room staring out the window. I know now that this must have been a difficult time for the staff as well. My apathy left them without purpose as more and more of the household was shut down. Soon the cooks and stable grooms began abandoning what they wisely identified as a sinking ship. As more and more of the staff left the castle to seek employment elsewhere, there was less and less reason for the rest to stay, and the household was quickly decimated. Okay, more reading. Yes. But throughout all this, young Clara never left my side, and she gradually shouldered more and more of the household responsibilities, making it her task to take care of me and nurse me through my melancholy. It was her loyalty and industriousness when everyone else left that finally brought me back from my condition, and indeed her love. As I now sit down to write, it has been a long, unbroken chain of happy days. Claire and I have the whole castle practically to ourselves and nothing to do but to enjoy our lives and each other. We sleep in a new room every night, cook our own food, and have picnics under tables or in front of the fireplace. We have no incentive whatsoever to uphold convention and norms when the house has become like a secure pocket inside the rest of reality. In truth, this touches on what I treasure most in Clara. Neither of us reap any concrete benefits from our own union, neither financial nor societal. There is no embedded purpose of producing heirs. Our relationship exists solely for itself as its own reward. I am already adopting her adorable habit of naming inanimate objects. I knew it! I am Clara! Shush. The castle is not quite ours, however. Wolfram still lurks like a ghoul downstairs and occasionally emerges and spends a night up here with me. We have little in common anymore. In fact, he is like a completely new person. His mind is vacant, his stare distant. He's thinner than ever before and shivers with cold. Clara jokingly suggests that we might have him declared mad and sent off to an institution. An innocent idea in her mind, but with some planning, this act might eventually prove to be our surest path to finally reclaiming the old castle for us alone. Clues! Alright, well, I'm gonna leave you guys off here, so like, comment, subscribe if you want some more of my gaming stuff, but of course I do more gaming stuff because that's all I can really do. But you guys have a lovely day.